I'm the product owner of Smarter at Work, an initiative, a holistic initiative. Right, perfect, thank you. Which we introduced 1 year ago to the company. First started as a grassroots initiative. Okay, one disclaimer again. I will not be able to participate in the panel discussion this afternoon because I have to leave earlier. So if you have questions, just raise them. And I will be there the whole lunchtime. So if you have any questions, just come and ask and we talk, okay? Good. Okay, so first of all, who am I? My name is Julia. I'm with ZF since 5 years. I originally started in HR development, being responsible for digital learning, and then changed departments, became a member of the Chief Digital Officer team, and then joining the Transformation Office, which is basically a new department supporting the activation of the strategy of CF. And I'm supporting the company in really enabling the people, empowering people, and really focusing on collaboration and leadership. So my focus topics are written there. I'm really the HR lady in a non-HR department, and also focusing on new work initiatives like Smarter at Work. Maybe one sentence first about ZF. I don't know if you know it. Most people don't, so no worries. It's the third biggest automotive supplier next to Bosch and Continental. We are located in south of Germany. The headquarters is in Friedrichshafen. It's super Swabian, super conservative, but we are a global player. We have 230 locations and over 146,000 people. So it's not a small company. Okay, I brought this as a first slide with me, knowing that you all know those issues, the topics we're all facing, especially in the automotive industry. We have big disruption going on, okay? So there's a lot of discussion which technology will be there in the future, etc. And of course, we all have those issues with, we're a super siloed company. We've grown over 100 years, but never included the companies we acquired. So we left them like they were, with their culture, with their focus, with their markets, etc. But we never really put effort in really including the company's cultures and bringing it to one CF culture, if you would like to say so. And of course, like most of the German companies, we have a lot of focus on processes and regulations, and we love paper and all that stuff. But yeah, you know, we just can't handle that anymore. Like, we all have to face the changes, the transformations going on, either with or without us. And so we really need to become this connected organization. We really need to focus on the collaboration, co-creation of our people. And of course, we have to face the digital transformation itself, and empower the people and talk about leadership, and less managing, like Mr. Gabbard, can't remember his last name, sorry, Uli was talking about. So we're really focusing on that topics. And that was all prior COVID. So thanks to COVID, we have just smashed our plans and went further because there was a big urgency once at a time to really change and transform the company. So we introduced Smarter at Work 1 year ago, and it was a grassroots initiative. So we just started talking about how to implement something to really focus on the people, focus on our colleagues, and to enable them being able to use the tools given, the initiatives given, the methods given, to really be able to work differently. Not to say better or worse than before, but just differently, because we really need to focus on the collaboration and the mindset of co-creation with our colleagues. And we came up with the Smarter at Work thing, and we really put in the focus our colleagues, our employees, and to introduce them. Initially, the thought was to introduce them to Office 365, Microsoft Teams, and the cloud service, OneDrive, etc. This was the originally idea when we came up with Smarter at Work. But it expanded naturally, because you just can't talk only about IT tools. You really have to focus on that the people need to understand what's the change, why should they change, like the previous people also said, and give them the chance to co-create with us on this topic. So on the one hand side, we give them new tools, and on the other hand, we give them the opportunity to learn together with us and to really co-create with us on how to develop their skills in the end. As I said, we originally started as a grassroots initiative. We just started people from IT, HR, myself, because I was not in HR anymore, but somehow in a transformational office. We set up a cross-functional project team. So we brought together people who were really motivated to just do it differently than before. So not just giving a IT project and bringing that to life and just smashing out the IT tools to the people and say, go have fun, this is the new tool, whatever you do with it. But to really explain the people and to involve them in the process of developing the trainings and the communication measures they think they need. So we're focusing on a user-centric approach. So we have the best consultants in-house already. We ask our people and let them guide us how they want to develop their skills. So this is really a big part, and we are super proud of that because it's the first time for ZF in the end that we really focus. We're just not only telling, we want to have a user-centric approach, but we really do a user-centric approach. And then, of course, we have a learner journey, what you need. So you give them different varieties of training possibilities, but also focus always on social collaboration. So not just handing them a PDF or a webinar or a video, but really giving them the chance to talk with peers, to talk with experts, not only solely for IT tools experts, but also how to work differently, how to communicate in a different way, how to contribute to the network in the end. And we also, like others also do, we're focusing on a guide network, so enabling multipliers for the Smarter at Work way in the end. I would like to introduce you to something we developed 1 year ago because we were thinking, okay, user-centric approach, good. Okay, tick in the box. We really want to do that. We really want to live that. So how to do that? And we came up with this idea to run so-called user story workshops, which is a virtual format. It's a 90 minutes workshop format where the people smashing statements and their experiences at us. They're throwing information at us and we're just collecting them. And this is something really engaging. So you don't have to change mindsets if you involve the people and let them explain to you what they need, what they are facing on a daily basis, what kind of issues they have, and you just let them tell you whatever they need to tell you. We use those workshops regularly, so it's not a one-shot, and then you never go back to the people. You have a lot of database after those workshops. So if you run 6 workshops with 25 participants each globally, you have over 2,000 original statements, how they work, what they face, what they need, etc. So you really have to go through this database and derive their needs and requirements from them. And this is a very cool thing, also very exhausting because it's so dense and so much information in that. But we use those statements and the derivations to really see what kind of change in communication requirements do we read in those statements. What kind of feeling do we have, what they might need to understand why they should change the way they are working, the way they are communicating, etc. And then we're also deriving from those statements training requirements. So people tend to tell us, don't bother me with tool trainings, I will figure that out anyway. I asked my colleague, or I don't know, there's a cool YouTube video, so don't bother me with this tool training stuff, but tell me how to use the combination of tools, how to use an approach like working out loud in order to better collaborate with Microsoft Teams, for example. In previous times, we did not give them those answers because we didn't know that this is the requirement. So we did not focus on tool trainings. By now we do, but thanks to COVID. But we're really focusing on the global approach, the holistic view on the topics. And this is for our IT colleagues very interesting. So we also derive from those user story workshops the IT and infrastructure requirements. I don't know who's from IT here, but our IT colleagues tend to think that no problem, it all runs smoothly, no issues, no nothing, it will go somehow. People don't ask, people don't talk to the IT hotline because they, I don't know, wait 60 minutes in the waiting line or something, but they just don't get the feedback, what's really not going, what's not working. And we also drive change in the IT department with those user story workshops, because now they have the original statements from people working at CF and really telling them that the VPN connection is not working, or if you are on VPN, you just cannot enter anything else, for example. After we have those requirements, we bring this together in an, in an order that people can handle it. So we have user stories defined. For example, one user story we're focusing on at the very beginning was collaborate internally. So how to collaborate internally? What should I do? How to find people? How to find the right people for my project? Not the responsible ones, for example. How to use a social intranet, and how to use, for example, Microsoft Teams also to collaborate and making those connections to other tools possible, which makes me even more efficient in the end. A regular, or just thanks to COVID, in the end, we also focus on a user story called working remotely. So what do I need to do? How to handle those social distancing things, but still feel connected. And this is how we structure the user stories and underneath the use cases. So really giving the people guidance, what to do, what to think of, and how to handle specific situations in the end, based on what they told us, what they need to work in the most efficient way in the end. Yeah, and then we come up with a detailed training program, a detailed communication plan, and handing it over to the people. We also have learning management systems and communication channels where we're providing those information to the people and always gathering feedback to that in order to really iterate the content and make it even better and more usable for the people in the end. So this is the baseline. This is the center of Smarter at Work in the end, to really have a focus on the user story, user stories. Of course, there's more than one. And it takes a lot of time to do that and to really be precise in deriving the requirements and the needs, but it's so worth the invested time and effort to really get a feeling what the people need. You can ask 100 external consultants and they will tell you all the same, but if you really ask the people, because they are the experts in what they do, that's a treasure, you know? It's a box full of very valid information, and you can work with that over years if you would like to, of course. So this is what we do, and what we constantly do is evolving such user stories and talking to the people about it. Yeah, I already said that. Why do we work with that? Because we want to talk with the people, not about the people, and really want to get a feeling what they need and how we can come up with solutions for them in order that they have the best way of working in the end. Because we are not there and not providing just because we think we're super cool and we have a super good idea. It's that people are able to work in a most efficient way in the end, of course, but really giving them the chance to not invest too much time in learning, in looking for possible learning videos or something, but we really give it to them how they told us. So how does that look like? What you can see currently, this is a snapshot or a screenshot of our learning management system where we provide the details and provide the user stories. And what you can see here are the use cases underneath so that the people can really directly go into the details where they need the most information about, for example, the training they're looking for in the process of their work. So we're not talking about classroom trainings or something, but really to give them the guidance to really what they need in the precise time when they now need to solve something in their process of working. Yeah, so this is the summary of this user-centric approach. I think I said already most of the parts. What we are also focusing on, I already mentioned that, is that we, as a project team, just not only do everything on our own, but we're really focusing on the collaboration with the people. So we are inviting them to support us and inviting them to communicate with us and co-create the content itself if they have time and fun to do that. What you see here is part of our social intranet. So we're constantly engaging with the colleagues and asking them, how do you like X, Y, Z? How do you like this content? Do you understand what we're aiming for, what we're trying to do with the user story? I don't know, run meetings efficiently. And so with this, we are learning constantly if the things are changing, evolving, and developing. And for example, we had in mind when we started Smarter at Work a user story, become a mobile worker. That was all pre-COVID, so something we were thinking about. Okay, most managers would like to become a mobile worker, we guess, but we don't know. But yeah, we said, okay, we are focusing on all people, on all colleagues, no matter in which hierarchy level they are. So we put the become a mobile worker for managers aside and said, okay, well, it's not the time to do that. Let's focus on something different. And with Corona coming up in March, all of a sudden, of course, everyone had to work remote. And then we came, okay, we have to focus on that now. And this is what we did together with colleagues on our social intranet platform, really getting the feedback. We now need something. We put up a training a workshop for the user story. Was super brief because the people were on follow or knew that they will be on furlough the other day. So we really put everything together on a very short notice to understand what they need in order to work remote and then come up with a solution for them to really work or be able to work remotely then. This just something we also came up with is something we set up Ask the Expert sessions. So this is a live online training, or it's not a training, it's a live online Ask the Expert session. Where we bring together the people, the users, with colleagues who are experts in either IT tools or in approaches, collaboration approaches like working out loud, communication approaches, etc., and that people can really just ask their questions, how to apply, what to do. I have a special problem in XYZ, what can I do, etc. To bring them together and to just talk about it. Of course, we also have those classical things like web-based trainings, etc. We have to do that thanks to Workers' Council, but we try to give them as much as value add to it as possible, always focusing on this user story approach itself. So everything they find is always linked directly to one of those user stories to really give them the guidance they need in order to be as efficient as possible. Right. Yes, we try to be as modern as possible with our training content, and always are in constant exchange with our HR colleagues in order to make regional adaptations to the content itself, and focusing on everything possible. Wow, no problem. So now you're wide awake again. Okay, and this is my last slide. So if you have any questions, make yourself ready to ask them. Of course, we have tons of things learned from COVID or the situation which arose back in March. What I think is immense to see, we started as a grassroots initiative. We just said, okay, we have to change something, we have to do something differently because HR was not possible to give this a thought about it. AT was not able to do it. So we came up, and now we are part of a strategic CEO-driven initiative. So this is something really immense to see. If there's a big urgency, the change is there. So you just can make thousands of plans, but when something happens like the pandemic, you just can throw away your plans and just react to what happens. The cool thing for us as Smarter at Work is we are now directly linked to those CEO-driven initiatives, which is super cool. And we also are part now, or we, how to say that, we grabbed the one initiative from our CEO, which is called remote work. So how to kind of balance the remote work and the go back to office topic. And this is now under the roof of Smarter at Work, for example. So if you have motivated people, just let them do. Give them the freedom to try and fail, maybe. And out of a sudden, you have something really cool, initiatives arising in your organizations. And you just don't have to do anything. You just don't have to pay money for consultants or something if you really let the people do and give them the freedom to co-create with motivated colleagues in the end. So this is my biggest lessons learned from COVID-19. If you are strong and want to change something, just do it. And there will be at one point something happening around you and supporting you and giving you the wind you need in the back to move forward. Right. I hope my little presentation and sharing what we've done and or still do and what we've learned was of value add for you. I don't know if you have questions.